Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. What day is it? It is Thursday, December 29th, 2020, here in the Arizona desert. So, just 2 or 3 more days of the year left, depending on how you look at it. Um, let's keep rocking. So, it's really neat to see 2022 almost gone. I'm happy with that. Whether it's been a good year or a bad year, or both, it's always neat when you're on that precipice, that transit between years, that couple days, where it feels like 2022 is over, but it ain't quite. It's got 2 or 2.5 days left, and knowing the vindictive nature of 2022, a shitstorm could still fire up any second. So, with that said, let's check out what's going on here. Um, Oh yeah, there you go. I forgot I had down there. Paul Joseph Watson. He actually made a video titled that. I haven't watched it yet. That's for after the show. Anyway, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Indicators that I use, things I endorse, etc. Check it out. Now, I think the news for today is everything is kind of sideways, but not exactly. So let's just look at this. I mean, the indexes are doing quite well. If we look at US dollar right here, we have a US dollar, well, DXY, dollar strength index. It's kind of dumping today. That's good. It's giving the market a little bit of room to actually make some moves. Oil, US oil spot, definitely a red day. Looking at S&P 500, nice green day for that. US Tech 100, we are seeing an up day. Gold up day and silver up day. One thing I like about gold right now is with the up day we're having today, we are above all the important moving averages that I look at on the daily chart, like the 200, 314, 50, and the 20 WMA. Okay. Also over here for silver, it's above all the important moving averages also. So that's nice. We have been seeing over time. Recently, a nice uptrend on daily chart for both gold and silver with some definite dips in there, but overall trend is up and we're above important moving averages on the daily chart. Dollar strength index, as you can see, has been dumping, but watch out because, well, who knows? With this article here on Zero Hedge, dollar to regain some of its allure in first quarter. Basically, the idea is if the Fed keeps pumping interest rates, the dollar strength index will begin to move up. So we'll see how that rolls. Right now, we're seeing a downtrend for the dollar strength index and an uptrend for gold and silver. I like that. Where Bitcoin, I wish it was kind of joining the team, but it's not really, well, it's not exactly where I'd like to see it. So we'll take a look at that before we get out of here, of course, because it's Bitcoin Daily View. All right, looking at the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, all three have moved up today, and now they're kind of going sideways, but definitely they're in the green. Dow up 1%, NASDAQ 2.5, and S&P 500 1.8, I'd say. Looking at the S&P 500 explicitly, beautiful green day. That is wonderful. I like what I'm seeing. Tesla up almost 6%, Apple up 3%. This is a nice way to end the year. Maybe we can pump right into 2023 and shake off 2022. All right, looking at the top 50, the top exchanges here as far as volume for spot trading. Most of all of them are in the red. Basically, we're a negative on the last 24 hours as far as trading volume. So really, Bittrex, for some reason, that little Seattle exchange is 5.54 up last 24 hours. I'm just naming ones that I might know of, that people might actually know of. Femex up almost 4%. But in general, big exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, they're all in the red today as far as volume. It's been decreasing the last 24 hours. Looking at spot trading, I like to look at that. Not spot trading. I'm sorry, derivative trading, longs and shorts with leverage. Down 14% last 24 hours. It's actually at 18 billion on Binance. I only really look at Binance for a view into this because that's where all the volume is, the most volume by far. And anyway, really, you want to have 50 billion for at least a good day. So basically, we are pretty much very, very low spot trading volume today. Bitcoin coming in at 16,636. I like what I'm seeing there. It's staying above 16,000. That's pretty good. Looking at the top 100, only things that are really in the green are BitDow, whatever that is. I don't know what BitDAO is. Trust Wallet. Okay, Trust Wallet is Trust Wallet. That's 4.7%. Maybe we'll take a look at that before we go. Ethereum Classic up 3.8. So let's try to take a little look at those before we get out of here. I'm gonna just make a note. ETC for Ethereum Classic. TWT, and BitDAO is just Bit, right? Yeah, Bit. Okay, these guys are kind of making it happen today. We'll take a slight look at them. I'll also check before we go if anything is actually pumping. I'll look at my little alerts. All right, so looking at longs versus shorts on Binance, 68% long, 31% shorts. For Bitcoin, for Ethereum, 61% long, 38% short. So basically a long bias for both Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance where that sweet ass volume is. Now, looking at like this little indicator here, you can find it over at bitcoindailyview.com. Just kind of do a little search for it. I'll put it in the live chat just for fun in case you are interested. But basically, one thing I'm not seeing is usually we have some liquidations. You see them down here as purple or yellow lines, columns. Definitely we had some, we're really not seeing liquidations. That's kind of unusual. Maybe this thing's not working right, but I'm seeing incredibly low volume. I'm not really seeing a lot of big trades rolling by. I'm not really seeing any liquidations, just a couple, some longs got wrecked here when we dumped. These are 10-second candles. Somewhere back here, there was, you can see a very, very mild light right there. There was, when we dumped a bunch of, pumped a bunch of shorts got wrecked. And then, of course, when we dumped here, when we pumped, shorts got wrecked. When we dumped, longs get wrecked. But usually there's more of a battle going back and forth, and you only see an occasional little dot. So I'm seeing incredibly low volume, trading volume. I used to have a way to see explicitly what Bitcoin trading volume was, but that where I was looking kind of disappeared. So if you got any tips on where to see Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, let me know, because that usually tells you a lot about what the day is doing. All right, looking at Bitcoin, since that's why we're here. This is my favorite, one of my favorites. This is a 4-hour chart. As you can see, we've been kind of riding this 200 moving average for a while, but we can't quite, that's a white moving average. We could not quite break above it, got rejected. Now we dumped, and now we're kind of making a little bit of recovery from that. Indicators in general look like we're probably going to continue with that recovery, maybe. But then again, this, the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart will probably be resistance once we get back to it. So really, right around 16,800 or so, 16,900, you definitely have a bit of a 200 moving average glass ceiling there. Getting above 17,000 and staying there for a while would definitely be a good thing, because right now the 200 moving average is right at around 16,923. Yeah. So anyway, let's look at a 45-minute chart. 45-minute chart, we dumped, we're kind of making a bit of a recovery, but we're still below the 200 moving average. I really prefer to trade it as easier when Bitcoin's above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. Then I have a lot more stable trades, but you got to trade because you got to trade to make money. But I do prefer trading when Bitcoin's a little bit healthier than this. Anyway, we are seeing the squeeze indicator beginning to turn green a little bit. Directional index is in the green. ADX is beginning to trend up. Binary candles are looking good. So this is kind of a weak Bitcoin right now as far as where it's at. Hourly chart not looking a whole lot different. Squeeze indicator does show we're probably on the way back up, and so does directional index and binary candles. So we'll see. We'll probably continue back up here on the hourly and test that to the moving average, which here is right around say 16,771, so 16,750, figure you're going to see a battle begin. Like if I was to actually put a trade in right now, which I probably wouldn't do, this is not the greatest setup, I would actually expect to put my take profit right before that 200 moving average. That's probably where we're going to find resistance and most likely get rejected at this time. That's just my intuition. That's not that's not like that's, don't think that is doctrine. I just don't think the market has a lot of energons right now, not unless we see a lot of volume start for the spot trading pairs and such. Now looking at the daily chart, what do we see here? Daily MACD is been struggling, but it's negative, so definitely a positive cross and some histogram towards the positive side would definitely be a good thing. But we ain't there right now. On the daily chart, as you can see, Bitcoin here is kind of struggling with the 50 moving average. That's the green one. So it kind of got rejected off that. It's also below the 20 WMA, so it got rejected there. The 20 WMA and the 50 moving average are right about in the same spot. Bitcoin's kind of getting rejected off those, so that's kind of bottom of the barrel there. We really want to get above the 50 moving average to begin to have some health at all on the daily with a positive MACD cross. And of course, the 200 moving average right around, let's just say 20,000, is kind of, that's a long ways off at this moment. So anyway, daily chart not super powerful. Anyway, if I do, I will do this, just something I've done many times. You guys probably know what I'm going to do here. Something I definitely have been watching using fib here is if we do look, I think this is nice size here. Doing a fib sequence. If we go way back to like March of 2020, we kind of hit down in the 3K range for a while. This fib sequence really pulls in a lot of time, and I think has a lot of accuracy. And one of the things that has been bothering me is, as far as, well, not bothering me, but just that I'm noting, is that the 786, which has been support, we went below it, and it's actually acted as resistance, getting above it. And right now, the 50 and the 20 WMA, or 50 moving average, I'll just say 50 moving average is below the 786, and Bitcoin's finding, resistance there. It's becoming kind of a ceiling. It's a glass ceiling that it can't get through. So we're kind of weak. I'd really have a lot more certainty towards an upside move right now. If we could get above the 786, which is around 17,797, let's just say 18,000, we can find support back above that 786 and begin to start trying to challenge that daily 200 moving average. I think we'd be in a better spot. But right now, I really think we are probably more than anything else, I don't know. I'm just a little bit, sorry, I'm a little bit low energy today, but they're just saying a whole lot of, we'll see what happens. Definitely we got to break it back above that 786, get above 18,000 and find support there and hold it and start challenging that daily 200 moving average and get a daily, positive MACD cross before I think we're going to see much joy. So anyway, we could be heading towards the downside. Definitely don't have a lot of energy right now towards the upside. TWT versus USDT, I was looking at that earlier. A little bit of energy on this morning, but it's a 4-hour chart, still way far below the 200 moving average. Looking at a 45-minute chart for immediate price action. Yeah, it found resistance at the 200 moving average and bounced. Looking, these indicators are pretty strong. It very well may challenge them again, but I really would not call this a good trade right now. Hourly chart, you didn't even make the 200 moving average before it got rejected. Looking at ETC, I'll just put that. Let me put that here. Etsy versus USDT. I'm gonna look that out in KuCoin. Bonk. Also, I'll add Bit since that's kind of doing good right now. Bit versus USDT on. Where can I play that? I've been trading on KuCoin mostly lately. Okay, we can do Coinbase for that one. So let's see, Bit. Oh, Bit definitely is nice. Hourly chart, strong break above the 200 moving average in the 314. Strong indicators. This thing was looking great. Some massive volume came in and pushed this guy up. Looking at a 4-hour chart, see here, we actually broke above the 200 moving average. It's very powerful, looking good right now. We're challenging that 314. Can we get above? So I'm going to kind of watch this one. If we can actually get above that 314, the green moving average, come back, test it, and continue up. If I have confidence we're going to stay up there, this definitely could be one that we see moving. Bit versus USDT. Bit versus USDT. Yeah, I mean, oops, sorry about that, guys. It has been giving a lot back. How long has this downtrend been going on? Must be new on the exchange here. Well, anyway, we have a can't really do exactly a parallel channel here. Where is it there? Boom. Everything's kind of shaky here, but what the heck? I'll just kind of, for fun, we'll kind of call that a possible channel. So it would have to break above this channel here, this downwards channel. But the indicator's looking like it may make a move. We're seeing some volume come in here for sure. So let's see how this guy does on the daily. Let's actually look at a 4-hour chart and note this downwards Yeah, see, look at that. Could be, if this guy actually, so you had like lower low, well, higher low, but really lower low, lower low. Then you have higher low, kind of below it here. But we are breaking that 200 moving average, getting some volume, challenging that 314 here on the 4-hour chart. If we can find support there, get above, this thing may continue up to the top of this channel. Let's see what happens. This thing's got some energy, but I don't really, myself personally, it's not nothing I'm going to get in right now. It's not quite, for me, a really great setup. But definitely I'm going to keep that on my watch list. Where is Bit? We were looking at that real quick. Anything else kind of exciting? Yeah, Trust Wallet, no. Pawn, no. Elf BTC has been kind of good today on the 4-hour chart. Actually, really, really good recently. Elf BTC. You have your first low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. This guy's been doing quite well. I mean, I kind of had an upwards channel right there, but really, you could kind of oh, what did I do there? You could kind of do like this. Let's go to yeah, you could. Let's go here and do an upwards channel. Bonk, bonk. There you go. It will probably continue. I could almost pull this one in, but let's just go with that. Does that quite work? You could say so. So, I mean, anyway, yeah, ELF, as we tend to call it, ELF versus BTC. Sorry about that. I'm all over the place. Sorry. It's been a long morning. I don't want to make mistakes on you. This is ELF versus BTC, not ELF versus USDT, but still, ELF versus BTC. Interesting trade. I see a lot of good energy here. It's cooling off right now. ELF versus BTC is one to watch. Really, I'm just not really feeling a lot of volume or excitement in the crypto market right now. This morning, how's Lunsey looking? Lunsey had a great pump recently, but it's giving it back. Doing a 314 bounce, looking for a 200 moving average break above, find support. Indicators might support that it might get back in this upwards channel. Anyway, and of course, here's Bit. Bit exploded. Bit versus USDT, yeah, this downwards channel. Is it going to break out of it? It looks like it's beginning to pull up. We'll see. I'm not too excited with it. ETC versus USDT, interesting chart, but really, really volatile, not too exciting. I mean, yeah, it had a big pump, hit the 200 and 314, found resistance. That's probably going to be it for it. Anyway, guys, that's a 45-minute chart. How's the 4-hour look? Sorry if this is not very exciting. It's just, I mean, I don't really have a lot of, inspiring great charts to show anybody. I myself am out right now. I'm just hiding in cash because I'm just not feeling it. Like I say, the Bitcoin is a little bit, I'm seeing really, really low volume. That's probably because of the holidays and other issues. And I think people really are kind of waiting for that New Year's Day. I'm kind of waiting for the first week of the month to really get into trading again. But also, I'm not saying I won't be trading, but I need to see a better setup and before I get into anything. Also, Bitcoin daily chart below the 786 fib, pulling in this this huge range. I think this is a pretty valid chart. I will copy link to chart image, put that in live chat if anybody's interested. But there you go. I mean, it's in a precarious spot. I can say if you do look, there has been a slight bit of support where it's at below the 786 in the past, you can see, and we got a bounce. So let's just see how it kind of rolls. But right now, really, I'd like to get above that 786. I'm just not feeling too positive on the daily without that. And I at least want to see on the daily, I'd like to see a MACD, a positive MACD cross on the daily. I think that would definitely be some positive energy for the market. Volume is crappy low right now. You got some alts that are moving, but I'm not really seeing any setups that are totally impressing me anyway. So I'm just going to leave it at that, Anyway, and now for that part where many people do check out, let's talk about some news. Okay. The Great Resort, new national survey indicates political migration will soar. This is very interesting, and I think that, like, this over at Zero Hedge, I think that the data they're pulling from is just not really good enough to be definitive on this, but it definitely shows that people are moving in this country within states and, of course, between states to places that match their political ideology more so. And that political ideology is very, 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 very extreme these days. We definitely have a lot of polarity going on, a lot of pendulum, action for sure. And Americans are kind of going to where they, feel that they fit in the country more so. And how does that affect things? Well, you look at California. The trade unions guys were talking about that recently, where a lot of your government employees and your firefighters and police and such like that, they get, I don't know much about the police, but they get amazing pensions, and then of course then they leave the state. There's so much going on right now, but just the political ideology migration in the country is definitely, trade it however it affects your trading, but definitely we're seeing some interesting stuff. Homes have gone from almost like they didn't even make it to market before selling in Florida. Now the average wait, I think, is like 3 months. Arizona, we do have some states that have people leaving, of course, like I think the most are like California, I think Illinois and New York. But Arizona, which has had an influx of people, has really, really dwindled. We don't have the influx that we did, and they made crap tons of apartments, condos, stacked homes, as you call them, and also tons and tons of flippers have just flipped tremendous amounts of expensive real estate, and they are in the hole, and people aren't coming here anymore. So anyway, there you go. Fighting the Psyopcracy. This is an incredibly interesting article. I will just stick it in the live chat if you're interested. I think it has some value. Basically, just read it if you want. The name says it all. If that name interests you, then go check it out. I mean, because well, there it is. Also, over here at Sonar 21, Larry Johnson is someone that I've interviewed over at my other podcast a few times. Incredibly informative character, and he linked to this article here, this interview, which is really, really profound. If you're interested in the actual what's happening on the ground and in Ukraine and with the Ukrainian military and the Ukrainian militias that exist there, like Right Sector and Azov and such, this guy, I started listening to this. It's a long interview, chat between these like three guys eating a pizza, and it's just phenomenal. It's really good. I can tell, having been in the military, this guy is very, very legit, and he has some very, very interesting things to say. I mean, if you're watching this video, you can basically, you can see these things I'm highlighting, and he really said this, and it's all that was really happening, and you can just judge this guy's character, and if you believe him or not, based on whatever, whatever works for you. I personally, from my military experience, he's legit. Why Intelligence Fails, a roundtable discussion with Gonzo, Larry Johnson, and John Caracco. There's a bunch of people came in and off this podcast. This was just done this morning. Larry Johnson was there for a while. Some of them were really spot on. Some of them were kind of jokers. The one guy from New Atlas was on. He does amazing analysis of what's going on, especially weapons and troop movement wise over in the Ukraine, and I think it has a lot of value. This is kind of a long chatter between dudes, but a lot of people do come and go in this thing. Gonzo Lira is really, really good at orchestrating these, even if he's a rather gruff looking character, smart guy. And I don't know how he does it, but he gets a big old StreamYard full of people talking about important things, and it's really a gem if you have a desire to know what's going on. In error, I actually had this screen up. Anyway, I'm not going to share that. You can find it if you care. I think it's funny. Anyway, thank you for being a Bitcoin truth seeker. I think things are just I think we just have low volume today as far as the crypto market goes as we head into the towards New Year's. On a good note, definitely. We've got the S&P 500 is cranking, but the thing is, Bitcoin is not reflecting that crank. It's kind of going the opposite way, in my opinion. But we do have some nice, strong indexes today. Let's see if they can stay strong. I think if they do, that's a good thing. I like seeing the nice and green S&P 500. I just kind of wish that Bitcoin was actually would join the team with it, and kind of come in for the big win. Look at a 4-hour chart here. Can kind of show you where we're at. Definitely. Just not exciting. Just not an exciting chart right now for Bitcoin. I would say in the 4-hour chart, we got to get above, 17,000 and hold that. Get above that 4-hour 200 moving average. before I really have confidence that we're actually heading that way. So anyway, guys, because you can see 4-hour 200 moving average cross, it's a very, very important thing. As you can see right here, once we did it, we had some volatility. We definitely got some energy. And of course, really, if you look at it, big picture, where did we bounce? We bounced off the 314. That became resistance and bam, slapped us down. Couldn't hold the 200, and we definitely couldn't hold it recently. Now we're going to probably try again looking at the indicators, but we are definitely low energy right now. So thank you, Bitcoin truth seekers. Remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of crap globalist cries. That's a good thing. Take care.